What's happening? What's happening? What's happening, y'all? What's happening? Y'all come on in the room, man. Come on in the room. Oh, wow. I have a good show lined up for you guys today. One that I think a lot of you are going to find very intriguing. This is my notification saying that we are live. So I do that because I stream on multiple platforms. And first of all, we want to welcome everybody to Plugged In. Let's get this thing popping. I want to welcome everybody to Plugged In. This show, ladies and gentlemen, is where I plug you in with the information that you need in order to help you be a little bit more successful. Ladies and gentlemen, so much has happened in the past week. It's like, wow. It's like, wow. You guys, some of you won't believe it. Some of you will say, I knew it was coming. And some of you will not know how to respond. Now, what does this have to do with business? Which is a question that everybody always asks. And that's why I like being your Huckleberry. I don't like being your Huckleberry, but the things that I go through, ladies and gentlemen, is not for me. It's for you guys to see what can possibly be coming down the pike to you. Now, last week, some of you guys, if you follow me on all of my platforms, you guys know that I do custom leather work. Been doing that business ever since 1995. That is my first business and my oldest business. Now, recently, I made the transition to start doing custom design shoes. You guys will see these. These will be released here, and this is not a plug, but this is the Louis Vuitton shoes. These will be released come next year, March. Still working out all the bells and kinks. But I have been ordering that designer leather I started ordering it now 3 months ago. Found a manufacturer overseas that actually does they actually do the leather for the big box brand, same company. You guys might remember that when China put out the list of the manufacturers that produce the stuff for these big time companies. All right, so now I did all of my research, found out who the company was, started ordering from them. Now, fast forward a month and a half. It took a month and a half. I ordered 7 rolls of designer leather. Took a month and a half to get one, the brown. The brown was the first one to come in. I said, well, that's okay because this shoe launch won't happen until March of next year. So I have time to work out all of the kinks, get the patterns down. I found a shoe company where I can order the Air Force One shoes, not the Nike brand, but these are the same style model shoe as the Air Force Ones without the swoosh, which served me perfect because now I can put my own brand on these shoes, which as a business owner, you know, there are several people on social media that are already taking existing shoes with somebody else's logo, name, brand, and price attached. So I've again found a company that makes the Air Force Ones. Now, the difference when you're ordering stuff like this, ladies and gentlemen, you have to order in bulk. They will send you sample pieces, but the overall goal is for you to buy multiple bulk packages. So to buy one pair of Air Force Ones was $30. That's one pair of shoes. No swoosh. But when you order in multiple, when you order in bulk, when you order a box of, turn this notification off. When you order a box of them, you can get, now you can get, that's the, I need to turn the sound off. Okay, when you order a box of them, now you can get those Air Force Ones. When you order when you order a box of 100, the price drops down to like $14. When you order 300 or more, the price drops down to way like $4 or $5. So this is the thing when you're ordering from those companies. They're not looking for you to just come in there and order ones and twos. So, but anyway, the designer leather is the same. Now I ordered 7 hides of leather, 2 yards a piece. And look, I had to sell a kidney to get that. But needless to say, all right, a month and a half, they sent me the brown. I did a video on that. Hey, look, don't know what's happening, but I got these colors coming up, these colors coming in, these colors coming in. So now we're working out. You guys, if you follow me, you already saw those videos. A week later, I get the Louis Vuitton blue comes in. Did another video. Oh, man, I was so happy. I mean, the size of the package, which I'll get to why it didn't make sense, but it felt like they sent me all of it. But Customs refolded it a different way, and it made that package feel like it was that big. They just folded loosely. So I said, oh, man, I thought all my leather had came in. Then I'm ready to go to work. Did a video on it. And I said in that video, all right, the tracking says it's being held up in Customs in Ohio. It should have sent off a red flag then, but it didn't. Because why in the hell would it go all the way to Ohio? Ohio don't have a port. Not like Florida does. Not like New York. Not like Georgia or South Carolina or California or Virginia or even Texas. Why in the world did it go all the way to Ohio in the Midwest and it's stuck in Customs there? Needless to say, I didn't care. It didn't bother me. I got it. Well, I got 2. 2 out of 7. Did another video explaining, hey, look, I don't know why they keep sending me 1 and 2 hides. I thought that they sent me on that one because now I know that all 7 went to Ohio. But Customs in Ohio, or now I know, is the 3-letter alphabet group. And I got to be careful, so to speak, because I was able to walk about it. Now, right after the second video, I get a letter from FedEx by way of the 3-letter organization saying that I owe a tariff. Now, this video is for especially those of you. Now, if you're not selling products, this podcast is not going to mean anything to you unless you just want food for thought. But if you are a product business and you are ordering products from overseas, whether it's from AliExpress, Alibaba, Temu, or whoever you're getting stuff from, this is for you. If you are an affiliate marketer and you are selling stuff by way of TikTok Shop, if you are an affiliate marketer and you're selling stuff by way of Amazon, this is for you. Because the tariffs, ladies and gentlemen, are coming. And guess who has to pay the tariff? Now, yes, your customers will eventually get the weight of that bill. Because as a business owner, you got to recoup all monies that you spent. Ladies and gentlemen, so I called some business people, a friend of mine, and I said, hey, man, I said, I know your business, does a lot of import, export stuff. I said, man, have you ever come across something like this? Took a shot, sent it to him. He was like, bro, that sounds like a scam to me. And I was like, no, I don't think it's a scam because I'm being summoned. I'm being called to go over here to these folks' office. This was Tuesday. So Monday, I opened the letter. Tuesday, I was being summoned to be there. I didn't even make it in my own car. I was picked up. I told y'all, a lot of y'all not going to believe this, but I have no reason to lie to you. And the people that I contacted and talked about this, they bear me witness. So, oh wow, this is different. I'm being picked up, not even driving myself. So, a lot of things don't scare me, but I'm getting shook a little bit because it don't feel comfortable. So, now we get over into getting to Tampa. And for those of y'all who are following me from Tampa, y'all need to know, boy, them folks is right in the middle of the hood. There is no markings on this building. There is nothing that says it's a federal building or a federal agency in this building. It's an abandoned shopping center. And again, I got to be careful with what I say, man, because I know they're watching. They had every video that I had done about that Louis Vuitton leather. So I know that they know who I am. So nothing on, and this they got a salad port. What shopping center has a salad port? For those of you who don't know what a salad port is, this is a structure that's built in the back of a building where when you go inside, it's blocked off so nobody knows who's getting in or out. And this is at an old shopping center. Tampa, y'all better listen because these folks have been there. Now, on the outside, it looks like an abandoned shopping center. Like, I mean, I've driven past that building a bunch of times, and it just looked like they went out of business. The white plastic that they put on the windows is not tint, but that white plastic that blocks anybody from looking in and out, it's on there. No fence. Cameras, yeah. But if you are a regular person like me, I just thought that was whoever owned the building put some security to run the vagrants off, right? Okay, so here we go, family. Here we go. So I go in this salad port. The letter that I was sent had a barcode on it. You got to put that letter into this machine. It zips it in there. Then it says, take out your ID like you're at TSA. So I'm like this. I'm like this on the back of the salad port. And man, you looking at this TV screen, and then here go the red dots all over your face. Put your ID and your phone in the box. I'm just like, look, I'm telling you, I'm getting shook. I'm not scared. I'm getting shook because it just don't feel comfortable. And now you're standing like this, and the thing, and then you hear it. I'm just like, ooh, I'm telling y'all, man. I'm telling y'all. No reason to lie. Get in there. It's 8-on-1. Small time business owner. Nobody important. I don't rock the boat. I don't party. I don't go out. I don't do nothing to draw any attention on myself other than do these videos, do these podcasts. Post my product, make my money, and stay out of everybody's way. I'm 52 years old. I'm not trying to relive no days of yore. I get in there and I sit down. Smartest thing I thought I did was I turned my phone off and took my SIM card out. You're not going to be putting no kind of spyware or whatever on my phone. Call it conspiracy theories if you want to. No, we're not playing them games. Sit down. Well, I go in, and I already know this ain't my first rodeo. So I immediately swapped out them chairs. Because, see, they put you in those chairs. One of the wheels might be loose and the chair rocking all over the place and you can't get comfortable, or they done took one of the screws out of the rocker and you can't sit back, or it drops you all the way back. And then they be playing with the lights and loosen up one of the fluorescent light bulbs. I'm telling y'all what God love now. Loosen up one of the fluorescent light bulbs where it's flickering and shuddering. All of this stuff is textbook investigation. Throw you out. It was like a meat locker in there, man. It was so cold. Which was one of the smartest things that I did do was grab my coat. It had already been cool weather down here in Florida anyway with the rain. So I knew, take me a coat. So I got my pullover on. Long sleeve shirt, and then I got my pullover. So I'm pretty comfortable. I already swapped the chairs out. Now I knew the chair was the right thing because the one of the 8 that came in, he didn't sit down in that chair that I swapped. He stood up the whole time. Bing! So I'm sitting here. Why am I here, y'all? I mean, this letter makes no sense. Well, you owe a tariff. For what? I've already paid for shipping and handling when I ordered the stuff. Then it jumps right into it. Well, let's just talk about you supporting, when did you become radicalized and start supporting terrorists? Wow, just like that. You're not even finna buy me a drink. You're not finna try to warm me up. We finna get straight into the smash session. I was just like, whoa. What? Radicalized? I started practicing Islam in 1995. Before radicalized and radically, these words y'all, these terms y'all using wasn't even a thing in 1995. Nobody was radicalizing nobody. That's some new stuff. So I've been practicing Islam way before y'all started even talking about radicalization. So ain't nobody radicalized me. What they're fighting about over there and what my fight is over here is two different things. Them people ain't never did nothing to me, and I ain't never did nothing to them. Now, as far as you talking about supporting somebody, I don't know what they do with the money. I bought product, which I know you guys already have. I know you have already gone through it because you broke up the box and you're sending it to me one piece at a time. Here's the kicker. The first roll of the brown Louis Vuitton that came, it came UPS. Oh man, I already took the trash out. It came UPS. The second one came the blue. The blue is what got me sitting in this abandoned shopping center in the middle of the host road in Tampa. Now, for those of y'all who from Tampa, y'all know what stroll I'm talking about. So y'all know the area that I'm talking about. Right down the street, less than 1 block is a strip club. Right next door is the Crack Motel. And here it is, the 3-letter alphabet, boys, is right there. It's out. I'm going to get to that in a minute. Said, man, ain't nobody radicalized me, man. Well, yeah, I mean, they had everything, y'all. The country of origin. Everywhere that it went to, it left Turkey. I didn't even know Turkey was now deemed as a terrorist country. We were just friends with them a month or two ago. Just friends with them 2 months ago. But it went from Turkey to Mexico, from Mexico to the U.S. They looked at that as I was trying to avoid the tariff that was put in on Turkey. I didn't know that. I did not know that. Mexico now has a lower tariff charge than Turkey does. I didn't know that. I bought it from them. I don't care how they ship it to me. I paid for shipping and handling just like everybody else does. But now I am on the radar. We got comments. Hold up, y'all. Let's see, because it might be a audio problem. Hello. Butterfly and Face Human Being, Future Human Being, and whoever else that is. Sounds like bots. But anyway. So now I'm sitting here, I'm getting drilled for something that I didn't do. Then the demeaning comes. Yeah, we've been watching your little videos. They're cute. But we know better. What do you know? Because if you've been watching my content, you've been watching my videos, and they showing them to me, y'all. Why am I telling y'all this? The inmates have now started to run the asylum. The inmates are now running the asylum. Nobody has any sense anymore. And for anybody that knows me, y'all know that a terrorist is something that I am not. You can go back on my content for the past 10 years, and it has been all about showing the small person, the regular person, the everyday Joe. You can get this money just like the wealthy people can. That has been my fight. That has been my argument. I don't speak out against, and I know there are videos out there because I stand on that today. It's 3 conversations I don't have. Race, religion, and politics. It has nothing to do with making money. It can hurt your money, but it can't make you any more money. Each one of those topics are hotbed topics. They're irrelevant, and it doesn't have nothing to do with you performing the work or providing the service. Since I've been around these wealthy people, nobody cares about what faith you practice. I don't hear these people talking about, ain't nobody invited me to church. Nobody invited me to Bible study. So religion is not a question that pops up when you are around people with money. Nobody's invited me to a Republican rally, and I'm in the heart of Trump country. Nobody has invited me to come out and hear no politician talk. And one of my businesses that I'm partnered in, I've had a lot of politicians in that thing. One notable politician in that van. Very notable. And even she, once she got in the van, it never came up about politics. That wasn't what I was there for. Didn't even ask me who I voted for. Now, what she assumed or thought that I was, if she thought I was Democrat, she was wrong. And if you think that I'm Republican, you're wrong too. I am who I am. And it's nobody's business. My advisor had told me a long time ago, stay away from those conversations. Those are personal. Those are personal. And if you bring up your personal feelings and thoughts in business, you could just ruin a deal that can change your whole entire life. Besides, nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody does. My issues are with ignorant people, regardless of what your political affiliation is, regardless of what your religious practice is, and regardless of what your race is. I don't care. Until you do wrong by me, I don't have a problem with the entire faith. I don't have a problem with the entire race. I don't have a problem with the entire religion or faith, religion, or your politics. I don't have a problem with that. I got a problem with that person that wronged me. That's who I got a problem with. Racist, not in my vocabulary. I can love black people and not be a racist. I don't hate anybody except people who have wronged me. And if it's one thing that's going to keep me out of the hereafter, it will not be being a racist. It's going to be because the person or the individual that wronged me, I hate them and I don't forgive. That's what's going to keep me out of the hereafter. And I don't care what nobody think about it. It's not your race, it's not your religion, it's not your politics. Do I hate Republicans? My business partner is Republican. The people that I even do business with are Republican. No, I don't hate them. They paying my bills right now. Do I hate white people? No. 97% of my clientele are Caucasian people. No, I don't hate them. They paying my bills right now. 100% of my customers are Christian. I ain't got a problem with them. Now, back to the story. These people know everything about me. Then the disrespect comes in. This boy think he's smart. Now, if you are a person of melanated descent, you know what that means when the other calls you a boy. Racist or not, don't disrespect me as a man. I haven't been a boy since I was 13 years old. like most men that used to be boys. So I replied, and I let it got under my skin, and I replied, no, ma'am. I don't think that I'm smart. I'm just smarter than you. Bing, 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 bing. We know the button to push now. And he stayed pushing it. And I kept saying, no, ma'am. See, when you call a man a boy, that's the equivalent of calling the N-word. It's like the first cousin to the N-word. Not as bad, but close enough. But see, I know saying ma'am and her and using feminine pronouns, that's the equivalent of calling him the F word. And every time he do it, and I respond, he'll crack a whole half smile. No, you think you got me. But I know I'm irritating you just as much as you irritate me. Especially when I call them Caitlyn Jenner. I said, this 2025. I don't know how you Caitlyn Jenners identify yourself. I don't know if you she, him, they, what, it, or anything. So I'm just shooting the middle and just calling you what I think you are, ma'am. Then here come the threats. We can keep you up to 2 weeks under the Terrorist Act. And I replied, maybe I just need to call me a lawyer up here. And then this is when I got shook for real, for real. Where are you? Who knows you're here? Are you here? Then it hits you in a wave, like a tsunami. My truck is at home. If anybody saw me, people just saw me getting in a car. I don't have ID. I don't have a cell phone. And I can't tell anybody where I am because I don't even know where I am, for real, other than the street that I'm on in the building. But I can't call out. And it did not make sense why FedEx would be sending me a tariff bill by way of the Alphabet Boys. Who's going to believe this story? It's some of y'all that's out there watching right now don't believe it, which is fine. It's fair. I get it. Until it happened to you. Don't say it won't, because I never in a million years thought that I would ever be associated with a terrorist country for trying to make more money for my business here in America. Nobody could have told me this was going to happen. Ladies and gentlemen, I was there from 8:30, and I walked back in my house at 8:30 a.m. And I walked back into my front door at 9:12 p.m. That's how long I was there. All I had was a bottle of water, a pack of crackers, and a bag of chips. And they eating takeout in my face. Chick-fil-A in my face. Y'all, this thing ain't nothing to play with, man. When I tell you I was shook. At 52, a lot of stuff don't scare me because I've pretty much seen them all. I've seen a lot in my lifetime on this planet. But to tell y'all I wasn't nervous, I'd be lying to you. And I didn't know how this was going to go. I don't hear no other phones going off. Now, these people got the whole entire shopping center. Because it felt like I walked from one end of the shopping center all the way to the other end. One long hallway. Rooms on both sides. I didn't hear no other phones going off. I didn't see no other people than these people that were sitting in front of me. And the funniest part is, these many people that's in this office, it wasn't even no cars outside. Where the hell were they cars at? It crossed my mind. My business partner said, man, that sounds like a scam. Bro, ain't nobody gonna go through all this much trouble for a scam. This is some pretty high-tech stuff for it to be a scam. Now, you don't go through that facial recognition at no partner. If it was, hey, look. But even still, let's move on. Got back home. When I met my business partner, I was telling him, he was like, bro. He said, man, I talked to two sets of people. He said, some told me it didn't sound right. And then others told me that's how they play. He said, I don't know what to tell you. I talked with some other people that own some business. You know, and you talk with a few people, just pretty much kind of put them on game. Hey, look, this administration is so unhinged right now. They looking for anything that they can hang their hat on and say, aha, I got you, moment. Especially the woman that's over this organization. She's looking for anything to save her job right now. And I'm just like, dude, only thing I kept thinking was I cannot be made an example of. Get home. Get home. If you got to pay the money, which I didn't want to, still haven't as of right now. I haven't paid no tariff right now. Because them folks want 17.7%. Y'all hear me? 17.7% of what I've already spent. You talk about pressure. I didn't even make no money. 17.7% after I had already paid shipping and handling. You have some people that come in and be like, man, I did this, I did that. No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. There are times when you can't act black. You can't play the race card on everything. You can't play the race card. This thing was, let me tell y'all what my definition of racism is. So a lot of y'all will understand why race card is not the play here. A racist is a person who they need the affirmation and validation of others. They are confused. A racist is a confused person who don't understand why others don't validate and affirm who they are. That's racist. He needs somebody else to affirm and validate that he is a superior race. And if don't nobody give him that affirmation or validation, he lashes out in anger. And even if you give them the validation and the affirmation, they still lash out in anger because now they feel these people need affirmation and validation, and they are confused with why Nobody. Now, here's the other part about that. Did you guys know that racist people are poor people? They're broke. The ones who have all the mouth on social media, you guys, the ones who do all of the big boy talking and all that, these people ain't got 2 nickels to rub together. See, that's what made the Klan so dangerous. You didn't know who was under that hood. When they spoke out and did their little talks and all that kind of stuff, you didn't know that if that was the governor, the sheriff, the chief of police, your insurance agent, or your mailman. You didn't know who was up under that hood. So for these people that's out here in this world today with all they brandioso big boy talking and all that, those stupid people. They're confused. They want everybody to know. The ones who talking about DEI, being against DEI, they screaming DEI themselves. I was discriminated against. What? Anyway, back to the story, which is a true story. Like, I'm trying to tell y'all, man, this is true as the day is long, and I'm standing right here in front of you. I went through this Tuesday. One of the jobs, one of the companies that I contract with, couldn't even call and let them know. Now, see, I'm on a contract as a 1099. I'm on a contract. I have a certain amount of hours I have to fulfill in order for me to get paid what I get paid. I can't just not show up. That violates my contract as a 1099 contract worker. You just can't show up. Luckily, I have a rapport with that company to where they are getting a lot of stuff imported from overseas. And I asked them the same thing. And it's like, man, look, bro, just go and pay it, man. They know what I do. Everybody know what I do. He was like, man, just go and pay it. He said, but we ain't never went through nothing like that. I said, yeah, the name doesn't help. I get it. The name doesn't help. But guys, look here, man. I am not what they trying to say I am. Ain't nobody radicalized me. I think the way I think different than anybody else. The way I think is the way I think. What I believe is what I believe. I don't punish and put that off on nobody else. I don't even bring it up. But anyway, people who said, man, I would have said this, I would have did that. No, you wouldn't. Shut up. No, you wouldn't. You would have did exactly what I did. Get back home. That's my only function right now, is to get out of here. Now, I didn't even have to put this story out there. I could have just not even said nothing about it. Nobody would have ever knew. I could have completely changed the story around and came out of there. I could have told y'all that I was up in there like Huey Newton, kicking down doors, and Kwame Ture. I was in there, Mr. Farrakhan on their ass. I could have told y'all all that kind of stuff. No, I didn't. I told y'all I was shook. I ain't telling you no lie. I was shook. I was in there like Fred Sanford. Elizabeth, I'm coming to join you. I ain't nobody finna see me no more. I know enough about that terrorist act that was implemented after 9/11. I know enough to know. Man, them folks could have whooped. I ain't too far from Gitmo, y'all. I'm not too far from Guantanamo. I could have been there in less than 5 hours. Nobody would have ever known where I was. Would have ever knew where I was. I could have been whooped up in there. And then kept to heal up and then released. You think the police don't be playing like that? Why do you think when they arrest some people, they whoop them up real good, and then you can't even see, you don't even see the judge until you healed up? Nobody know you in there. They just know you ain't on the street. No phone, no ID. Y'all think these people don't be playing with psychedelic drugs that where they could have doped me up and dumped me out on anywhere? I don't put nothing past a desperate person who is looking for a win. Some of y'all don't even know they still rounding up immigrants. Some of y'all missed that interview where Stephen Miller said we want 3,000 a day. How many you seeing on your news channel? Ones and twos. They chasing after one person on a bicycle. That boy said 3,000 a day. But on your news cycle, you only seeing a handful. And where they taking them at? Where was Christy Nome standing at when she was standing in front of those cages with them men in their boxer drawers? Look like a jungle to me. Y'all think I wanted to be wound up like that? These folks just arrested and deported a UMass college student to Honduras. And the girl was a college student. And then went after her parents. You think that I'm finna go up in there trying to be Kwame Ture in the Black Panther? You think that's not the time to go Black Panther Party. That's not the time to go BLM. I don't even do BLM. I think that's the worst, stupidest organization that Black folk could have ever came up with. Bunch of hypocrites. Like I said, I'm my own. I dance to my own beat. Now, what you feel about BLM, that's you. Don't ever ask me to go on the BLM march. I ain't gonna happen. So for them to have my content, they should know how I stand in my viewpoint. My content is public record. So why y'all coming after me, man? That don't make no sense, man. Release my stuff so I can get to work and get this product out. I'm about to release another product content video probably tomorrow. I was down in St. Pete earlier today, riding through the rich folk neighborhood, then picked up some outdoor patio furniture. Guess what's going to happen? It's going to have some designer material put on it. Gonna have a $4,000 sticker on it. Now, let's get to this part of the podcast, and then I'm gonna sign off. A lot of people say making money is hard. Making money is not hard. Making money is the easiest thing in the world. So let's not say you're ordering any product from overseas. Cool, great. A lot of people who are showing interest in taking my course on how to make money and set themselves free, that's the biggest question that they have. Biggest question that they have is, They don't, well, the biggest problem that they have, they don't know what they want to do. If you don't know what you want to do, don't even start the process of thinking about starting a business. That's the first thing. Find out what you want to do. I generally tell anybody who takes my course, I tell all of my clients this. If time and money wasn't a thing, if that wasn't an issue, what would you be doing? That's what you should be doing, because that is what you're passionate about. Y'all know that 85% of the people don't even have a passion. They don't even have anything that excites them. So in that regard, you should never even think about starting a business. Think about that. If you had the money and you had all the time, you didn't have to go to work, what would you be doing? The majority of you would say something silly and frivolous. Man, I'd be traveling. Oh. Traveling where? 90% of Black America has never went anywhere further than going to visit their relatives. That's 90%. 10%, 5% of that 90, 5% went on cruises, which I'm probably pushed to say 7% of the last 10 went on a cruise. And 3% are the upper crust elite of the world in Black America. And those are the ones that have traveled to Bali, Dubai, Japan, and they're probably because they're some type of entertainer, athlete, or celebrity. I know people from Gadsden, Alabama, they haven't gone anywhere further past Panama City or Atlanta. Never been out the country a day in their life. And going on a cruise, ladies and gentlemen, I hate to break it to you, that's not traveling. That's not shit. But when you don't have a passion is something that you do effortlessly. It comes natural to you. See, I didn't know how much I loved doing leather work until I made my first piece. It triggered something in me to see something that was once nothing and now is something. I can imagine how God felt, if you will, for an example, when he said, after he made the heavens and the earth, and he caused the fermenting of the water and the lights and blah, 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 and element. Then he sat back and he looked at it and he said, this is good. That was me after I made my first leather piece. And I know it was really horrible. There was all kind of mistakes in that thing. But I was on the road as to something that excited me. Now I'm all the way over here doing designer shoes. Some of y'all been following me long enough to know when I was just doing the flip-flops. Then it went to the wallets, the purses, and then it went to the dot bags, the knife sheaths, the gun holsters, the guitar straps. Man, I am all over the place with this leather, man, because I fell in love with it. And it became easy for me to do it. And I just kept getting better at it. Now, that's the first thing you do. Find out what you are excited about. Secondly, just because everybody else is doing it, don't mean you should be doing it. That's their passion. And half of them people aren't even passionate about it. They just looking at the money aspect. Because let me tell y'all something. I'm gonna leave y'all with this before we go. When it starts to feel like work, that's not for you. Because the first thing you're gonna do, you're gonna treat it just like you treat your job. You're gonna have to go to work. You're gonna call out. And see, when you're a business owner, we don't have that luxury to call out of work. Because if we don't make any money, that's our fault. And if we make all the money, we did that too. Hey, I thank y'all for chilling with me, man, and just listening to the story. Because, ladies and gentlemen, hey, look, I'm trying to tell y'all, man, this thing is real. And now I got to try to come up with 17.7% to pay these folks on this tariff, or they can pull my business. Some of y'all need to look at that, especially if you're ordering stuff from overseas. I'll listen to the info plug. Hey, I'll be dropping y'all info, man, that y'all need. Because this is going to help somebody be a little bit more successful, man. That's the thing. Y'all need to know. Yeah. I was your Huckleberry on this one for real. I'll see y'all next week, man. We're going to get right back to the business, y'all, because there's some things that's coming out. If you are a business owner, this is your tax season. Y'all need to be getting that paperwork right. And if you have multiple LLCs like I do, you got to have a BOI form filled out for each one of those businesses. Don't slip. Don't be caught tripping. Peace.